can't believe it. Football, bloody hell.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm your host, Killian, and I have my co-host here, Daza, and Benno's on the panel. Welcome to the MAG 24/7 Reds podcast. We are back. Finally, 3 weeks out. It's been a long time, but the Sunday session is underway. How are we, lads? How are you, Daza?
All good. Just about.
Daza, our Benno, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Glad to be kicking back for a change on a Sunday.
Yeah, you said it. So, for all the viewers and listeners, it was a first for the MAG 24/7 Reds to meet each other. 3 weeks back, we finally got together and we hit it off for the home game against Fulham. Yeah. It wasn't the best game. But yeah, no, on a serious note, it was absolutely fantastic to meet up with Daza, Benno, Philo, Jono, all the boys, TC, Chase, Smig, Sean, all the boys. It was great. It's fantastic to meet up and live it up in Manchester for a long weekend. Where we also met the 58 as well, which was absolute top. Boys, what did you enjoy it? Yeah, habits. So it was an absolute cracker bar the game, of course. Lads, it wasn't a great meeting up for the first time.
It was emotional. It was emotional.
Yeah.
It was good. No. It was good. It was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait to get the next one in the diary as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I echo those sentiments, and Benno, obviously we myself and yourself, we've been part of a sort of a fitness group as well for a long time, so it was great to finally hug it out and get the bromance rolling, baby.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, no, it was a good weekend. I think the football side of things was piss poor, but there's a few highlights to take away from it. So. Yeah, it was good to put a kind of like I say, meet people in person, and yeah, finally got to size up ball bags as well. So
yeah, your biceps aren't as big as they are in person, bro.
It's the lighting, you see.
I'm telling you,
they are.
It's that filter bullshit. No,
TC was a fan. I know TC was a fan.
TC is a real one. Big up TC. You are an animal. We all love you, bro. Can't wait to see you for the next one. But let's dive into the football. Enough of the lovey-dovey bullshit. Let's dive into the football. So we'll kick off. Obviously, we missed a few weeks for different reasons. But so the Fulham game, obviously, we got beat. It was atrocious. Dazza, do you want to kick things off? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, so obviously when you're at the game, we've been at loads of football, but you see things differently. You see things off the ball a wee bit differently. And I came away feeling shocked at the lack of kind of mobility around the team. We spoke off air. I had a quick chance to watch the game back because I felt the need to. I don't know why I did it to myself, but I felt the need to. And I don't know about you boys, but up until Casemiro went off, it was kind of okay. And then he goes off and we lose the midfield. And there was nothing there. Nothing. And yeah, we go a goal down and then Harry Maguire scores right at the bit where we were. And I thought, this is it. We're going to just rub it. And we just get caught. Naive play at times. And it was just kind of shocking to see it live, how naive they were at times. And I think that just goes down to the fact that the squad's not good enough. I just think, people are moaning that we're not playing champagne football, but you don't have champagne players, you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's the reality of it.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem is we were absolutely spoiled for so many years when the standards were just crazy high. Well, we just took it for granted because it was the norm. But now Yeah, well, it's a different story now, you know. But yeah, no, the Casemiro injury definitely turned the game on its head. But
And just
regard,
to be clear, I don't think we were like spectacular while he was on the pitch.
no,
But I
no,
just think when he went off the pitch, we just lost that dynamic.
yeah, we were a bit more solid with him on the pitch, of course. But
We-
Fulham were slicing through us like butter, bro. I was shocked. I must say, it was a long time since I was at Old Trafford, and I was shocked. I was shocked to see up close the effort and work rate. Absolutely shocked. I'm not going to name names of the footballers because you can guess who they were, but yeah, it was tough going. Harry Maguire, decent. Garnacho didn't stop running, wasn't great, but didn't stop running. We'll come to Garnacho later on in the pod. Benno, what were your thoughts on the game, bro?
Yeah, yeah. It'd be very easy, I think, to be very overcritical here, if I'm being honest with you, which I think is just going to be a waste of time, if I'm being honest with you. We saw a team come to Old Trafford, and whilst I fully sympathise with Erik Ten Hag and the injuries and the fact he's had to change squad every single game week, whatever, but with all due respect to Fulham here, but you had a team that looked better drilled than us, better coached than us, that played simple football. They didn't play that well, but they completely outplayed us. And I think the big concern was, I think, because obviously we were all stood together, and you kind of like, I don't see where a goal's coming from. Like, it never looked like as soon as they went a goal up, you're thinking this had 0-0 written all over it. And the big thing for me, and whilst I agree with the argument that Erik Ten Hag has been saying that every game is effectively like a cup final, but when you pull it back to 1-1, there's one thing you cannot do from that situation, and that is you cannot then lose the game. And that was the biggest. Like, I think we even said, "Fuck this, let's go," like kind of thing. What was it? 95th minute, 96th minute.
I told you this weren't going anywhere, by the way. You fuckers.
No. You know, we didn't. But for me, you can't. We just look so playable. And I watched a video in the week. Ashley Williams, who was at Swansea.
I've seen that.
And he said that years ago, teams used to fear going to what they were beat before they set foot on the pitch.
Yeah.
Now, teams, you often see them play their best football at Old Trafford now because of just the way it is. And, you know, you can't exactly put a finger on it to work out what it is. But for me, it's a big word. I texted my brother yesterday afternoon. I've been at work all weekend, and I said to him, do you not think it's mad how football works? How we went to Wolves, we won 4-3, but we could have been 5-0 up at our time. We battered them. Fulham then come to Old Trafford, and they were the much better team for probably 80 minutes of that game. Then they go to Wolves and get battered by Wolves, and it's like it's just crazy how it's going, and it's just it really sucked it did suck a bit of the momentum out of the weekend, to be honest with you. And I think that's just the best way to sum up Man United playing football right now. There's just nothing. There's no spark. There's nothing.
I think it shone a light on how important our 20-year-old striker is, Rasmus Højlund. Like, he presses from the front, very different to Rashford. I'm not going to get into what I'm going to get into here, but polar opposites. But I will come back to what you point the finger on there, Benno, just in terms of Fulham. So when we were watching the game, you could see patterns of play with Fulham. You could see they were well versed. You could see they were doing what the manager wanted them to do in terms of their tactics, their formation. They were well drilled. When United got the ball, you were just fucking passing it sideways and just thinking to it. We were just looking at it going, this is atrocious.
They looked like the home team. From where I was standing, they looked like the home team. They looked much better on the ball. They had all the time. It was just, it was horrible to watch. It was,
and make no mistake, Fulham could have had a bunch of goals. We saw them cutting through United time and time and time again. But anyway, Manchester was great. The Mag met up for the first time ever. Fucking loved it. Every second of it.
You remember half of it? He
Hey?
did. Yeah, just checking. Just
What,
checking
bro?
you can remember it all. That was all.
You're funny, aren't you, bro?
I can do.
Yeah, I can remember every second, bro.
Every
Even your
second.
farts.
I think that's debatable. I think that's debatable.
No, here. Oh yeah, just to tell the viewers, so the pool champ was Dazza.
I beat Dazza. Thank you.
He was letting people. I think Dazza just got bored. He was
No.
letting people-
Kudos to Beno. Kudos.
No, but a massive part of the weekend, and I must stress this, meeting the 1958, absolute honour. We're not going to name names, of course, but it was an absolute honour. We met men, women of different sexual orientations, different ethnicities. So all this noise that the 58 are just white men and blah blah blah. Nah, it's all fucking bullshit, lads. So yeah, big up to 58. It was absolute honor to chant in the pubs together and the stadium together. It was an absolute honor to rub shoulders. So big up, and we can't wait to do it again. So we move on from Fulham and our Manchester trip. Can't wait for another one, as I said. And we move on to then we moved on to Notts Forest, was it, in the cup, Benno?
Forest in the cup, yeah.
So another very underwhelming performance, but this time round we got the job done, and of course we're into the next round against the Dippers. How can we be optimistic? Dazza, what are your thoughts?
I think.
Maybe give us your thoughts on the game real quick. Or
Listen, cup tie, just get the win.
Mm.
Just get the win. Get the win. Even in the glory days, you sometimes you had to just sneak through, and sometimes a cup run can save your job.
Yeah.
So I'm a big believer. I believe things happen for a reason. I'm a man of faith, and we're on a cup run. It's not a title charge, but it's a cup run. It's a cup run.
Waiting for that.
We're on a cup run. So yeah, but
Yeah.
we stole it. We stole it. But sometimes you have to steal it, and that's okay. That's okay.
And for all the on that note, Onana, good few clean sheets now, boys. Not too bad. More than Alisson.
Yeah, he's kept one in the last 4. So
He's got more clean sheets than Ederson.
Yeah,
and Alisson.
Best goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah. So there you go. Not too bad.
He's starting
Benno,
to look like a top goalkeeper now.
you can see he has confidence now.
Yeah.
You can see that,
We just need
and
to
I'm a lot.
in front of him.
Yeah. A lot of people don't mention that, and it's a big factor all right through the season. We've had so many different centre-back pairings. That does nothing for confidence, does nothing for stability, and it certainly doesn't do anything for consistency, because how can you be consistent with the different fucking back line all the time?
I remember at Christmas we were talking about the defensive setup, and we found it incredible. There'd been 15 different defensive setups. We're now hitting 22. Now, it's incredible.
Crazy,
Big
bro.
shout to Johnny Evans, by the way. That guy shouldn't be there. He's also a big shining light on the problems we've got, because he shouldn't be there. But big shout out to Johnny Evans, proper legend.
He's a out and out pro. He knows what it means to wear the fucking jersey, and he knows what it means to have the honor to wear that badge. Yeah. Legend. Yeah. Just before we move on to Benno and his thoughts, just gonna dive into the comments real quick. So we have Sheik, great, always love, bro. And we hope you're well, brother. We have Andy Warburton. How are you, Andy? Great. Andy was one of the guys we met at the when we were over in Manchester. It was an absolute pleasure. Can't wait to do it again, Andy. Up the mag 24/7, lads. He goes. And then we have our big TC, our love brother. And let me check. And we have Suze. Daz's mate Suze, is it? Stick 10 Hag in. Yes, always. We always back the manager because we're sick of this merry-go-round. As we've always alluded to, sometimes you need to go through the storm and come out the other side and the rainbow and the fucking sun starts shining again. You can't be the best all the time. We were absolutely spoiled rotten for years. Now we're going through a tough time, but we'll get back there. All right. Trust in the manager. Give him time. Back him. Right. So are we still on the Notts Forest game, boys?
Yeah, I'll just say literally what Daz has said before we move on to the next one. It's cup football. Shit performance, granted, but the whole idea is to win the game, so you can't really grumble at that one. So yeah, let's just go.
Yeah, and I echo those sentiments. A win's a win in the cup. It doesn't fucking matter if you played shit or good. It's not. You're, as Daz alluded to there, and Benno, you get through the next round, and thank God we're at home. At least we're at home. It's at least the next one against Poole is at Old Trafford. So anything can happen. So we move on very quickly to the derby. I'll kick things off real quick. Just give me thoughts. I actually thought we nailed the formation. I thought the first half was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. A lot of people will disagree. I thought it was brilliant. Formation, Benno's licking his lips. He's coming for blood now. No, here, listen, we rode our luck. We got a bit of luck. But I did say to you boys, when we had a couple of really good chances after we went 1-0 up, they're the chances you need to fucking put away. Because if you don't, you're going to get punished. And we ultimately got punished in the end. We ran out of legs. And what's funny is you looked at our bench. I think we had 3 or 4 academy players, 5 academy players. Daz is telling me. So we had 5, which was pretty incredible. Now, I'm very proud that we did, but it highlighted the fact that our squad and their squad are worlds apart. Absolute universals apart because, it was what it was. And it ultimately, we paid the price for those misses in the first half and then the squad depth. Benno, you're going to go in hard. I have a bit of an inkling that you're going to go a bit heavy here, but go ahead.
Not. I mean, I'll calm down a bit, to be fair. No, it's for me, watching that game, it was like watching a lower league team versus a big team in the early stages of the FA Cup. And I get he had to set up the way he set up. And yes, in any game of football, fail to take your chances, it will bite you on the arse further down the line. And yeah, do you know what? We said at the start of the game, none of us were kind of confident. You are talking really, hate to say it, you are talking probably the best footballing team on the planet right now. That's what they are. Whether you like it or not, that's what they are. And it showed that because they just ground us down and then just obviously picked us off at the end. But it's just, I just really struggled to kind of, I was fuming at the end of it because I really felt like it was felt painful. They had more shots than we had possession. Now, I know it's not all about stats and stuff like that, but and again, I hate to say this because I feel like I'm attacking the manager here and I'm not, but for the manager to come out afterwards and say it was marginally close to winning the game and stuff like that, and it's like, come on, man. Like, we got outplayed. We got outclassed. They got the 3 points. We couldn't have expected anything more.
I get where you're coming from with the manager's comments, but we know it's a game, Benno.
But there's playing a game. They're playing a game and they're just being a bit smart with your work. He said it after the Fulham game as well, that we were in control and we should. No, at no point were we in control. And I just think sometimes, I know it's a catch-22 because if you come out and went, look, do you know what? You have to hold your hands up and go, they were the better team. They deserve the win. Would we be saying to him, that's piss poor, that's weak mentality? Who knows what we'd be saying? You know, you're at a catch-22 regardless of what you say on it. But it was just, I'm just thinking, fuck me. Like, we have got such a, well, the football ownership or whatever you want to call it has got such a big job on their hands. Look at, as you touched upon there, the gulfing class between Man City and Man United right now. Jesus Christ. Injuries or not, you saw the difference between the two. And it's horrible to talk about it, but it's a fact of football that we're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, like, to be fair, the only way we can compete with City is when all our players are fit. That's the only way. And even then, they're going to have the majority of the possession anyway, because that's the way they are.
Oh, yeah, you're never going to control the game against them. But it was just, you know, it was a little bit, you could see it was clearly a park the bus, hit them on the break kind of system. But even times when we were hitting them on the break, we weren't going forward in numbers. You had Garnacho and Rashford just running on their own. It was like, well, no one's actually up there. So it's not really a counter-attack. It's like American football. Just gain as much distance as you can, then regroup again back in your own half. And that's not on the manager. I'm not picking on players, but it was just, that's literally, it was like watching a training ground exercise.
Yeah,
you knew it was coming. You knew their goals were coming. You could just see it. And like I say, it all comes back down to not taking your chances in the first half as well.
Yeah, and what irritated me the most was how simple that second goal was. It was so fucking bad defensively, but you could see they were dead in their feet. Without rambling on, Dazza, your thoughts?
Everything you boys have just said. Everything. I thought Ten Hag got it spot on at the start, based on what he had to. What was available, and I think the boys just ran out of steam. I also think quality-wise, we know some of them aren't good enough. So they get. What I will say is, all I wanted was a performance. All I wanted was to go out there. It shows that that means something. Do you know what I mean? And I was okay with that for about 70 minutes, 75 minutes, and then they ran out of steam. And the City are a machine. Benno touched on it. City are a machine. They're well drilled. They've been drilled for what, 7 seasons now, and they're just a machine. I mean, they should have lost that game today. But drawing that game is probably what gets them the title. To be honest with you.
Yeah. We all we can do is look on and with envy at the minute.
We'll be back. Football's in cycles. I remember when we were shit before. We were shit before.
Yeah. So, here, listen. I think they did what they could, and ultimately we fell short, and City won it deservedly. So, as hurtful as it takes to say that, but fuck it, we move on, and we did move on. Getting back to winning ways. What was the? So Everton boys. Thoughts?
Who do you want to go first?
Whoever. Dazza, start off with Dazza this time.
Yeah.
2 penalties. Incredible.
Yeah, by the way, stone walls as well. Stone fucking walls.
Could have had 4, bro.
Missing a striker's brutal. It's just brutal. And I think
what
highlighted to me, and Benno had said this to me in Manchester, and I probably didn't take as much notice of it as I probably should have. But see, not having that our left side of that defence is decimated, right? And it changes how we play. And Lindelof, he may be able to step in there now and again for 20 minutes at a time. But see this weeks at left back, it can't happen. It can't. We need proper left backs. We need proper cover at centre back, because the defence changing every week is no good for the club. It's no good for the defenders. It's no good for Onana. It's no good for anybody. And I think we deserve to win the game. But I mean, the fact that we've got one striker, no fit left backs, no fit left centre backs, a 36-year-old playing out of his skin, who was contemplating retirement last summer. That shows you where we are, and that's left at somebody else's door, because there's no way the club of our stature should be in that position.
Yeah,
and that's upstairs.
I personally find it's insane the fact that we don't have, well, the coaching staff don't believe we have a good enough left back to even try. That's in the academy. I can name a couple, I won't, but there are players there. We've alluded to this before. Why is Lindelof playing left back?
I mean, to be fair to Lindelof, he's played left back at Sweden for a couple of games, but he cannot do it week in, week out. He's
not even left-footed though.
What I struggle to see with it, for me, it would make more sense to put Lindelof at right back and Delo at left back.
I was about to
me, that makes more sense.
You just put the words in my mouth, but
yeah, we're all thinking.
I don't think he trusts Lindelof. I don't think he likes Lindelof at centre back.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
he put him there yesterday, didn't he, when the game was done? But
yeah.
You see, when you take out Shaw, and unfortunately, it's becoming a very common theme now. Shaw's getting injured a lot. He's done well, but it just eludes how much we miss him. Rashford isn't the same player when Shaw isn't playing, because he gets that overlap, he gets the defensive cover. So Shaw is huge to this team now. Fabrizio Romano popped an L post there during the week that supposedly we're in for a young long-term left back. We won't talk about Malacia too much, but it's not looking good for that boy. Usually when there's no news, it's good news. But I think in terms of Malacia not hearing too much is not.
Well, he's back on the grass, isn't he? They've said he's back on the grass.
Yeah.
So that but grass could be just simple running around in your trainers, or whether that could be on the grass with the actual ball. So
you remember when they said all that with Owen Hargreaves?
Oh,
from a personal point of view, obviously we know it's a knee injury is what they've said. I would love to know what it is, because obviously if I think back to 10 years ago when I had my knee surgery and they told me that I wouldn't play at a decent level of sport anymore, it'd be quite interesting to know kind of what kind of road he's gone down with that. Because I'm a bit of a knee geek when it comes to the
they've not even told you what his actual injury is. They've
not even
what it is. And the last time we had we've had two instances of this. When you go back, we had Darren Fletcher. When Darren Fletcher disappeared for nearly 2 years, we obviously know that was ulcerative colitis and all that kind of stuff. The club were supporting them, and quite rightly so, and they should get kudos for that. Yeah. And the other one was Owen Hargreaves. And Owen went City, played one game, I think, played 40 minutes, and never played again.
Tendinitis in the knees, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. That's why he had tendinitis. Yeah. So who knows? I feel sorry for Malacia, and we'll see how that plays out. But I think the fact that the rumours coming out of the club that they're looking for another young left back tells you where they think he is.
Yeah, and I must say, like, for all the fans that are sick of Ten Hag and all the rest, he came out during the week and he said he was told he'd have 2 fit left backs in January. Got rid of Reguilon, which you guys know how I felt about that. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought Reguilon gave everything he could when he was wearing the jersey, and I thought he did quite well. But he went back, obviously, as we know, and he's playing for Brentford now, who are our next opponents, which is funny enough. But to have Lindelof a left back, I don't want to see it, but it is what it is. But it's just, again, the management of these sort of things, the back rooms that the Ineos have a mountain to climb. But in fairness to Ineos and Sir Jim, they're making the right moves, and I think in time
they're moving.
Yeah. So it is exciting, but short-term pain, long-term gain is the the name of the game at the minute. So where do we look now? We're Everton. We'll go back to the Everton game. So Garnacho, one of our young stars at the minute, he was the driving force. He was unplayable at times. Everton couldn't deal with him. It's just, I must say, I looked at him in that game and Cristiano Ronaldo came into my head, lads, without getting too excited. Go for it.
He's better than what Cristiano was at that age.
Yeah, I've always said it. Yeah,
because at that point, I was at a lot of games at that point. And the first 2 or 3 years of Cristiano, he was so frustrating. He was so. I mean, Garnacho can be frustrating as well. He's nowhere near the finished article, but this kid is. I think he's better than what Ronaldo was at this age in terms of not skills and tricks and all that kind of shit, but see in terms of football IQ.
Yeah. The decision making in the final third is so much better than what Cristiano was at that age. Like
absolutely.
It's a shame his composure in front of goal stinks because I was on for a nice little learner yesterday, and just for 75, I need. Amount of chances, I need him to just hit the target. Just hit the target, man. He's running for a goal and he falls over, and I'm thinking, oh man, what are you doing?
I know.
And for the viewers and listeners, that's why you don't fucking bet. You'll never win in the end, ever. Don't bet. It's not good for you. Now,
and I think I would just like to special mention, and I know we mention him every week, but every week he's getting better and better. The Iceman, Kobe Manu, man. That boy. You know what people say, and I hate it when they say he's the new this or he's the new that, he's the new whatever. This boy's the new Kobe Manu. He's if they keep him right, keep him injury free, and keep him progressing, he's going to be in his own category. I'm telling you now, he is going to be in his own category. He is the real deal. He is the real deal. Yeah. Big time.
Spine. If you look at the spine of the team, we have Raza, we have Garnacho, we have Manu.
Leacher.
Hey, yeah.
And Leacher.
Please God, he comes back health free or health up to the all good and health wise and injury free for long term, please, because I think you're talking about a future captain there if he stays fit. So
I think I was say a couple more points I do just want to bring up with the Everton game. I think again it's really easy, I think, to be picky here, and I think we scored 2 goals from 2 penalties. Other than that, you'd argue we didn't really look like scoring again. It's a big concern for me, and I've said it time and time again, is yes, okay, you could argue they never really looked like scoring, but the amount of opportunities they had, if they had that bit of quality in the final third, that for me is a big worry. And if we're that open next week against Liverpool, we're getting fucking dicked. Like, it's a big worry. Like I say, Onana made a couple of saves that you'd back any keeper to make. But they had a lot of the ball, and luckily their finishing was really poor yesterday. It could have been worse. It was the worst 2-0 win I think I've ever watched. It's one of those. Again, at this stage of the season, we've touched upon it. Results are what count more than anything. Doesn't matter whether you win 2-0 playing the most attractive football or 2-0 playing shit. 3 points is 3 points. But it's still, I can't help but just be concerned every time I see how open we are. It is a worry. It is a worry that one of these weeks someone is going to really pick us off. And I know we're going to touch upon the next few games that we've got, but we're playing against some strong teams in the next couple of weeks. It does make you a little bit on edge.
Supposedly Raza's coming back though, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, but it's not going to. But we were conceding 20 odd chances a game with Rasmus in the team. You know what I mean? It's not. it makes us
Yeah,
better
but
going forwards. As you know,
to be fair though, Benno, we were on a bit of a run. We had momentum with Raza. Raza was on fucking fire before he got that little niggle.
mate, mate. I'm not disputing that, but it's still even in them game. Villa had a number of chances that could have beat us. Luton, had a number of chances could have beat us.
Yeah.
You know, the teams we played in that run, we should be winning anyway. It shouldn't be for us to go, oh, we got momentum because we beat Wigan in the cup, we beat Notts County, we beat Villa, Luton. Do you know what I mean? I might be coming across as quite negative, but
It's unlike you, bro.
the performances weren't. It's just worrying, like I say, because eventually we say that one of these weeks is going to click for us.
Yep.
But it's also, I've got a feeling one of these weeks it's going to click for another team against us. And if we expose ourselves that much, we are going to get caught with our pants down.
We focus on ourselves, and that's it.
I told Kelly what I think the next 3 games will have.
Yeah. We'll climb into that now in a sec. Just diving into the comments real quick. Seamus says, "Big up, lads." Nice one, Seamus. Always appreciate the love. And we have our no-show, Phil.
Bro, Alan.
Phil, you dickhead. Nice one for the heads up, by the way. Liverpool. Phil should be here in the studio, but he's, I don't know, he must have been roped into something on Mother's Day. Big up, by the way, to all the mothers and women out there. Happy Mother's Day, the superheroes of the world. We love you all. Phil's coming in. Liverpool game is a one-off game. Anything can happen. I'm backing our boys to get us to Wembley. We're on the march with 10 Hags Army. That's what we like to hear. Benno, stick your negativity up your hole, bro.
Mate, I've said for time and time again, there's a difference between being optimistic, being pessimistic, and just keeping yourself on a realistic level. And that's what I do with myself.
No, here, listen, for all the viewers and listeners that haven't heard or seen Benno before, apologies in advance. But no, Benno's a realist. He's always real. He's realistic, whether it comes across negative or whatever. He always is real, and we always fucking respect that. Philo, can I make a quick appearance? Well, if you have the time, bro, but priorities, eh?
Yeah, anyone else want to
You're always welcome, dickhead. Benno?
Anyone else? Everyone just come tune in, you know. Free for all.
You want to hop on, it's a free for all. Right.
No, but Phil's right though. You know, with that comment he put there, like we said before, cup game's a cup game. But I think it's one of those. I'm going into it expecting nothing and hopefully come away with something.
Yeah, I must say I do. No, I must say I do agree. I think, but if Raz is back, I'll be quite optimistic. One thing I will say, and I've heard this a lot. Old Trafford's hasn't been the greatest of atmospheres the last while. Now, I don't want to talk too much about this, but it's up to the players to give the fans fucking something to cheer about. So nothing's bigger than the Liverpool game at home at Old Trafford. So we need that fucking 12 man. I really hope we have it because we're going to need luck on that day. And fingers crossed, Raza will be back. And you never know. You never know.
Couldn't believe.
Just in terms of, obviously, I've touched upon Old Trafford there and the fans. Will we talk just for a brief couple of minutes about the future of Old Trafford? Does our Ben want to chime in?
Yeah, I mean, I know we spoke about this on a pod previously about what kind of Old Trafford means to us as individuals and stuff like that. Now, I think I think everyone's going to have different views on it. And where I'm sat right now, the positive is something's happening, regardless, which is a big step. We've been crying out for it for years. Something is happening, which is a positive sign. And I think it's going to be kind of one of those where we're all going to have our own emotional attachments or whatever to it. But when I say it is what it is, that's literally it. You know, we're either going to get a refurb Old Trafford, or we're going to get a brand new shiny stadium. And either way, it's a good move forward. And it's just nice to see someone taking a bit of action behind the scenes to try and do it. And, I know they said about later on in the year is when we should get plans as to what exactly is going to happen, but I've just seen it as a positive movement off the pitch, which for me can only then, or should, you'd like to think, affect what's going to happen on the footballing side of things as well.
Yeah. Does it?
I'm really emotive about it, man. Honestly,
That's all
you know my views, man. But
yeah,
like, I read something. I was talking to somebody yesterday about it, and we were talking about the pros and cons of it, right? And I can see all the pros and cons, the fluffiness and that. But make no bones about it, right? When they build a new stadium, because that's what they're going to do. It's not about what's best for the fans or what's best for the club. It's all money. It's all about finance, right? It's not. They don't care about if I'm sitting and my knees are touching the chair in front, or if we're at the safe standing rail or in the TRA or whether they don't. It's all about money. So yeah, it is what it is. I've decided that I'm going to try and get too emotional about it, because I think they're going to do what he's going to do what they want anyway, and I think it's pretty clear. I think Jim fancies a new stadium, doesn't he? I think that seems to be. Yeah. I mean, like Benno said, that they're kind of dressing things up and seeding it as in, well, we're going to put this task force together, and then we'll come back to it at the end of the year. I think it's pretty clear Jim wants a new stadium.
Yeah.
And the only way that you're going to buy into that is to say, right, well, what are you going to do with Old Trafford? Do you know what I mean? How is it going to work? And how is that going to impact people that go week in, week out, season ticket holders? How is that going to impact them? Is that going to impact them in terms of pricing? And I mean, the new rules that's coming in next season for season ticket holders at Old Trafford is appalling, to be quite honest with you. I know this is not the pod for that, but I think it is maybe something that we should touch on shortly, because let's have it right. The only group that's trying to do anything about this is the 58. Man United Supporters Trust are an absolute disgrace. An absolute disgrace with the stuff that's coming out for the season ticket holders going forward. And there's been no comment about it. No kickback to the club, nothing. So, yeah, you're a disgrace. Big up the 58. And I think that's maybe a pod for the future, maybe a pod for the summer. Just to let the wider fan base know exactly how regular season ticket holders and boys and girls that go week in, week out, and or like us that go when we can, you're going to get absolutely shafted shortly. You're going to get absolutely shafted.
Yeah. The wheels are in motion, you know.
It's done. It's already done.
Yeah. I'm trying to dig out. Go for the Benno.
I was just going to say, sorry, I know one thing I did just want to say before I moved on with the stadium. Now, I think obviously, a personal preference is mine. I said about a while back is a refurb as opposed to a brand new facility. But I just hope, now whether they do or not, if they do get down the route of the new stadium, I hope they release something that says, look, we've looked to do this and we can't. It would cause more damage than good to, basically, if the foundations are shot to shit, or do you know what I mean, or something like that, which just gives us that kind of thing. Is, do you know what, they've looked at it and they can't, therefore they're going with the next best solution from there. That would probably put my peace of mind a little bit at ease as such. But as Daz said, if the plans are from what Sir Jim's spoken about, that Wembley of the North, you want to build the 5-star hotels, so that. It's the way football's gone. Football stadiums are dying now. It's all about a football facility. It's an arena, boxing, concerts, NFL. Guarantee if a new stadium is built, we will be having American football in there. Guarantee it 100%. And unfortunately, it will probably be the Tampa Bays. It'll be the Bucks while the Glazers are still involved. Obviously, I can see that happening now. But you know that's where football's potentially it's going to start going down there. You know, they've had it at Wembley, they've had it at Spurs Stadium. If they get that Wembley of the North, as they're calling it, you are going to start seeing. This is what I think. Whether I'm right or whatever, I don't care. This is what I think is going to.
I didn't even join the dots. I make you right on that.
I think that's where it's going. I think it's where it's going to go. You're going to start seeing it, and you know what? You know, if you want your stadium to be, you know, a pinnacle of world football. You know, in the years gone by, you want it to be what, you know, the Olympics get played or whatever like that, and all that jazz, European Championship finals, all that thing. Yes, but for me, they're still going to keep the heart and soul of Man United in that, and make sure it's Man United Stadium, not you know the complex.
Yeah, commercial stadium.
But it's businessmen, multi-billionaires aren't stupid, and if you know, he said he wants to have some fun because he makes enough money from his current empire, and I'll be honest, I believe that he doesn't need Man United to make money. He's purely doing it for his portfolio and to do that. But you've still got to have something. You don't do something to be at a loss.
Yeah.
Do you? So that's where I can see was going, but you know, who knows?
No, we'll see in time.
Yeah,
my thoughts on it. Yeah, I'm similar to Daza. I'm just so emotionally attached to Old Trafford because I know, like, just the generations in my family in particular that have been there through the just like going fucking years back here. Busby Babes, George Best, Dennis, like it goes way back. But I actually have a segment here that me and Daza shared online, and this sort of it makes me less disgruntled a little bit, but this basically puts things into perspective, or from it gives you a bit of a different angle. So I'm going to read it out. For those who don't know me, I'm 56 now. I've been going to Old Trafford for 50 years. I still remember the first time I ever went as a 6-year-old kid. The excitement, the bright green grass, no food stalls, just people walking around the pitch with pies, crisps and drinks. The Stretford End was swirling with red and white. Didn't matter what colour or nationality you were one of them, one of their own. And I knew from that moment I was in a special place. This is very emotional, I must say. Now, fast forward 50 years, and I have 4 children, with my youngest being 5 years old. I want the best for them. I 100% understand the sentiments of some of our fans, as I am one of them, but it's time to move on. Old Trafford is tried, run down, and has fell so far behind other stadiums, which is very true. Fans want success and a title-winning team. Isn't that what we all want? To do this, we must change the culture, and I mean all the culture, including the old stadium. A new 90,000 state-of-the-art stadium will show we mean business. We have fantastic memories of Old Trafford, and they will never be forgotten. Those memories will stay with us forever. It's time to make new memories at a new Old Trafford next to the old one, if that's the way it goes. Let's leave our next generation of young fans with a fantastic state-of-the-art stadium that they can be proud of. It's time to be unselfish and give them what we had as children. It's time to move on. I was at the Empty Head on Sunday, and even though it's not a patch on Old Trafford in size, it's a nice modern stadium which continues to have work done on it. We need to get into this world. As hard as that is for the viewers and listeners, and for us to hear, a part of that is true. The past will always be on us in our history, in our blood. My 5-year-old knows all about Munich, as do my other 3 children. Love that. Specifically love that. Because that's what it's all about. Education of our football club and moving it through the generations. That's what Manchester United's all about. It was explained to them when they were babies. It's time for a new Old Trafford. It's a time to be excited for the future. It's going to take a while, but Manchester United will be back. Make no mistake about that. Sorry, that was a bit long-winded, but that was perfectly put from a fan that's been and done worn the t-shirt many fucking times over the last 50 years. So it does put perspective on it. You know, as emotional as it is, I don't want to ever get rid of Old Trafford, but if it is what it is, what can we do? You know, Man United will never die regardless. Just going to dive real quick into the comments before we move on. We have our boy W. Renshaw. We hope you're well, buddy. If Liverpool doesn't bring the best out of these players at home, I give up. And I do echo those sentiments, mate. It's the biggest game we have. That's the first game I look to the calendar every time the fixtures are out, that alongside the derby, the Manchester derby. But as your mate would say, Steve, piece of piss, mate. We have it. All right. So we move on. Steve-O, we hope you're well. Stop talking with your hands, Kilo. Fuck you. There you go, Steve-O. Talk with your mouth. No, here. And we have Jono. Couldn't make the pod, unfortunately.
He was working.
Hey,
TC's got him. I heard TC still got him.
Yeah, he's still in the cage, bro. Bring in the gimp. Right. I think a new stadium is happening, which I'm 90% sure it is. I think that we have to use the old stadium. Yeah, if it's possible, if we could use it for the ladies, possibly, or the youth teams, or it'd be stupid to get to not use it in any capacity, you know.
Just turn it into a massive museum, effectively. You just have it as a museum piece.
I'm going to agree with Benno again here.
Ooh.
Note that down. Note today down.
The PR surrounding this needs to be on point to get emotive, to get the fans that are really attached to Old Trafford on side, because they're going to need to get them on side. And the PR has to be right. And if it's a new stadium, which I think it is going to be, I'm a realist, right? It cannot be like a soulless bowl. It needs to be different. I don't want it to be another Spurs stadium, another Emirates. Do you know what I mean? Have you seen the Philadelphia Colts stadium? It looks like a warehouse. It's 90,000, but it looks like
Indianapolis.
A
You mean?
Sorry, yeah,
Indianapolis.
Minneapolis. It looks like a warehouse. Right. It's just, I don't want that, but it's different. Old Trafford should be unique. Matt Busby said it should be the best stadium in England and one of the best in the world, and that's what it needs to be. And if they're going to do it, they need to do it right and be unique, be the biggest club in the world.
Yeah. Whilst I agree, I also do. I would still like the names of the stands to remain the same, if at all possible. If that's not on the cards, so be it. But we have to remember Sir Matt and Sir Alex, you know, what they've done. I think, for me personally anyway, I think the names of the stands need to remain the same. Now, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, but, and I think, I have to agree with what you're saying there. And Phil's put in the comments as well here, and I think Daz just spoke about the PR spin, and you've just brought it up now. A positive sign, I think, to take from this is you do not build a new stadium if you are not planning on moving everybody in. Like that's something that's got to be a real positive to take. You know, if I was a lodger in Daz's house and I said I'm going to then, you know, building a swimming pool and a garage and stuff like that, but I'm only going to live in the upstairs bedroom. No, the plan's for me to, you know, on your bike, Daz, mate, I'm taking over, pal. You know, so I think I have to agree with what Phil's put there. It's a shame, God bless him, that he couldn't come and actually say that to the public tonight.
Yeah, fellow, nice one. Keep commenting now, bro. Yeah,
he's just to let you know, he's cooking grey eggs.
Not upside down sausages. Yeah,
Yeah, just to fill the viewers in there. Yeah, food was suspect in Manchester.
Killian had a bit of a dicky tummy after.
Yeah, I had a fight with a Persian dish and I lost. It was amazing, but my arsehole didn't think it was amazing, and neither did any of the house. It was a bomb, bro. Apologies.
I've
Right.
never known a lad. I'll keep it anonymous, but I won't go too off topic here. I've never known a lad have to move out of a bedroom to a sofa.
Willingly.
Yeah, mate. It was all part of the plan. I got the bed, bro. All part of the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's another tale for another day.
Yeah, Killo did the Curry Mile in Manchester and lost big time, and so did everyone else.
He fell at the front.
No, so we move on. Let's talk a tiny bit about the manager. We've a bit to go. Well, a bit of time left. What are your thoughts on Ten Hag? And obviously, we have. Let's dive into. Let's first of all dive into the next few games, all right? Next 3 or 4 games, they're very tough fucking games, all right? Next up, we have the FA Cup at home to Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken. That's the next one. Massive fucking game there, all right? Fingers crossed, as I alluded to, hopefully a few of the boys, including Raz, will be back. Then we have Brentford away. And we'll be facing our old teammate, Reguilon, and the betting man, Ivan Toney. And then we have Chelsea away. And then we have another home game against Liverpool. Now, those 4 games are huge. Absolutely huge. Not one of them games is easy. How do you see Erik ten Hag's stability in his job right now? Is it worrying times? Or Dazza was first. He was first. He got you, he nipped you. Dazza, fire ahead.
Erik ten Hag will be the manager the first day of the season next season.
In Ten Hag we trust. I hope to God you're right, bro. I hope to God. Tell me why do you think that?
Because I think Ineos will want to, because if you look at his body, I keep saying this, his body of work, and I think he deserves.
Elaborate on that to the viewers and listeners. Are you talking about Ajax?
I'm talking about Utrecht. I'm talking about Go Ahead Eagles. I'm talking about Ajax. I'm talking about Bayern B. He with a proper structure, he wins everywhere. And I remember we done a space a long time ago, and an Ajax fan was on there. I don't know if you remember, Smig was on there as well.
Remember, yeah.
And the Ajax fan said, the first 18 months to 2 years, what you're going to get is inconsistency. And then the players will get it, and then they'll be unstoppable. And I just think that we've run out of steam this season with the amount of injuries we've got. And I think, like Benno alluded to, Ineos are not stupid. This guy, before this season, this guy was one of the top young managers that people wanted. And I think they'll give him a bash. Because you better believe it. See if he goes somewhere else with a structure, he's going to be successful. And I don't think there's an outstanding candidate to replace him. And I think that's what saves him. Controversial.
Just before we get to Benno, I'm going to give you 3 scenarios and I want you to pick me one.
Benno's going for blood. I can feel it.
Oh, I fucking know he is.
I can feel it.
Well, I'm going to give you 3 options. The first option, 2-year deal in the next few months, or from now until the next few months for a statement to the players. Go fuck yourselves. We're keeping this manager as his way or the highway. That's option 1. Option 2, he goes into the last year of his contract next year and he doesn't get the bullet at the end of this season. That's option 2. or option 3, he doesn't make the end of the season, or at the end of the season, it's mutually agreed to part ways. Benno, before will we answer these 3 options now, or do you want to chime in first?
Let me chime in first a little bit. It's I think this is a real sore subject, I think, because there's I've said this time and time in the past, there's a huge difference between opinion and kind of your preference. You know, there's a massive difference. For me, I still kind of maintain that I think he needs to get European football to stay in his job. The thing I think where he's struggling a little bit, and I spoke this about this earlier after the City game, is some of the comments he's coming out with publicly are a bit. Last year he was brutal, he was ruthless. The squad's not good enough. Blah blah blah. He went like that. Now it's like he's trying to be Mr. Nice Guy. It's like, no, you're not Mr. Nice Guy. That's why you've got the job, because you're meant to be brutal. You're meant to be ruthless. You're meant to say it how it is. It is concerning that, again, I've touched upon this before, how we seem to still be playing quite poor. But I agree with the stuff that's been said about, stuff takes time. I hope he's given time. I really do. But I've said it a couple of weeks back and we scraped through against Forest. I've just got a bit of a feeling that if we go out against Liverpool, when that international break comes, it could be where they let it. I don't think it'll be if he was to go. I don't think it will be a sacking. I think it will be a bit of a handshake that just says, "Look, we're not going to renew your contract. If you want to go now, we're happy to kind of shake hands and do it." Do I want it to work for him? Yes, I do. 100%. Of course, I do. But the big thing for me in all this right now is, with all the noise that's going on in the media, the club need to come out, either back him or sack him. For me, it's got to be that. Back him or sack him. It's not fair that after every time we lose a game, they're talking about, I know I've mentioned these names in the past, but they're talking about Graham Potter, Tuchel, Julian Nagelsmann, whoever. Gareth Southgate came up this week. It's not fair that they do that. Either put it to bed and go, do you know what? We're going to give it, we're sticking with him. We're buying into his project and we're going to go with him. Or do what Bayern Munich have done and gone, Thomas Tuchel or Erik will be leaving at the end of the season and we're going to bring in our own guy. And I think people would respect that more. I think what's pissing me off in all this is the fact we're guessing. It's pure guessing and speculation every week now. On some hand, you could argue that it's good not to get sucked into the media game. We know what they're like. But at the same time, I don't think it's fair on the individual himself. So for me, put up or shut up, back him or sack him. I think it's the fairest thing they can do. And that's all I'm going to say on it.
Yeah. So, someone's arrived in Fergie time.
It's the Admiral.
Has Philo frozen, bro?
He's just put a cardboard. He's put a cardboard foothouse, isn't he?
Let it go. Philo, just fuck off, will you? Here, no.
That's a cardboard cutout, that is.
Yeah, no, that's take a picture of that. Yeah, make that viral, bro. There he is with the crystal ball. What?
Can you not see me?
Get it together, bro. You awake?
Can you hear me now?
Oh God! Sit down.
Hello, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, you ready?
Yes.
Come on. How are we? Good evening.
Good evening. How are we?
Oh, we're beautiful to be in the presence of greatness. Finally,
Phil, are you on the International Space Station tonight, or what's the?
He's in fucking Mars, bro.
Nice jacket, Daz. Nice jacket.
I was going to wear the top, but
oh my God,
it's too much.
I'm surprised you're not wearing yours, baby.
Nah, mate. Nah, special occasions.
The TRA occasions. Here, how are we? So, did you hear what we were yapping away there about Ten Hag? We have 3 scenarios.
No, so I missed that. All I got was Benno talking about back him or sack him.
Yeah. No, to be fair, you took the words out of my mouth, Benno. With all the noise in the media, it doesn't do anyone good. Doesn't do the manager good. Doesn't do the players good. Doesn't do the fans good. Hearing about managers, well, we have a manager in the job, so make a fucking statement. In my opinion, give him a 1 year extension. So, but anyway, so the three. Let's dive into this. We'll go with Philo first. First option, straight away between now and the end of the season, 2 year contract or a contract extension to make the statement that we're keeping him.
Okay.
Option 2, you let him run the contract down and give him his final year next year and see how he gets on, or he gets the bullet, essentially mutually agreed at the end of the season, and they part ways. How do you see that panning out, and what would you like to see panning out?
So for me, I think if we sack him now, won't make a difference. What we're going to achieve by it. So if we sack him now, we get another interim manager in. We're back to where we are with Ollie. Now, this is an interesting one because a lot of people didn't want to get rid of Ollie. In hindsight, we should have kept him. Looking back now, especially off the back of that interview with the overlap. I want to keep him. Give me a 2 year extension now. Do it. Purely because there is questions to be raised about his management, but what manager doesn't have those questions? You look at the players we've got at our disposal. You touched upon it earlier with the injuries. He's had to juggle for basically the whole of his tenure. And yeah, he signed some players. He signed some dodgy ones. And I'm not going to go into that because it's blatantly obvious who those ones are. But Fergie made some bad signings as well. Every manager, Pep even makes some bad signings. So I don't think that can be fully held against him. I'd like to see where we can go with this manager because a lot of people have short memories. Look at last season. Top 4, a trophy, and an FA Cup final. He took our fans to Wembley 3 times last season. Me included. He doesn't turn into a bad manager overnight. And I can guarantee you now, if Ten Hag was still at Ajax and he was doing bits, he'd be on everybody's lips. He'd be taken for Liverpool job. We'd be looking at him again.
Yeah.
So back him. I want to see what a manager can do, give him time. And I'm willing to die on the hill if he's shit. I'm willing to die on that hill. But at least I've seen it, and we've seen it through and see what can happen.
Yeah. And just on that note, Jono's after chiming in. Arsenal fans were calling for Arteta out 2 years ago. Now they're looking like they could win the Premier League, and they have improved year on year. So it just shows, just give the manager a bit of fucking time. I know Daz is about he needs to fuck off now in a few minutes. You give me your thoughts, bro.
What I think will happen is they'll just let him run and see how he goes next season. I agree with Phil. I want them to give him a 2 year deal now and make a statement. But they're businessmen. They're not going to do that and then sack him 4 months, 5 months later. I think they'll let his deal run. I think they'll go into next season, see if they get a feel for him, see how they feel, and then bin him from there if they want to. But I actually think we could do bits with Ten Hag. And I think Dave Brailsford thinks we can do bits with Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag knows he's staying.
I hope you're right.
Don't ask me why I know that. I just think he does.
Yeah. Do you need to shoot off, Dazza? Can you stay for a few minutes?
I'll stay for 60 seconds. Go for it.
Come on. 60 seconds, then I'll hit it.
Benno's going in. I want to hear it.
Yeah, I think, I agree with that. I think, as I said before, I said the whole back or sacking kind of thing. And for me, I'd rather see a public backing of it. And the best way for me to do that, or for the club to do that, is by extending that contract. But I think the one thing I don't think any of us have touched upon yet Now, with this potential structure that's coming in, does Erik ten Hag want to stay? I think that's something that's also got to get put out there as well. Because will he like having a director of football, a sporting director, effectively running the shop off the scenes? So that mutual handshake could be a scenario, because you might get him going, do you know what, I want to be in charge. Do I want that? No, of course, I'd like him to be given a chance to stay. But I think we have to consider that option as well because of that. Is he going to be happy being told we are signing this caliber of player, this type of player, blah, blah, blah. Get on board.
Well, he has insinuated that in interviews that he would be on board with that. And he has insinuated he just wants to fucking coach the team.
Every other job he's had, to the director of football and a technical director and all that.
Yeah. Like I say, I'm not trying to like challenge that. I'm just saying it's an opinion I think we have to consider in all this as well. He might go, do you know what? No, I want to walk away. He might want to walk away.
Yeah.
You know, he might.
I do.
I know you say he won't.
Yeah. You know. I do believe. Yeah, I don't see that in him. Philo, go for it.
I can answer that question, Benno. He's at the biggest club in the world. He will want to stay. Yeah. He's got the biggest job in football at the minute.
He's also invested players that he loves. We won't talk about Anthony, but certainly Leach. I can't see him walking. I'll just finish off with,
no, sorry, let me just try. I don't think he will walk. I'm just saying I think it's a scenario that we may have to consider.
Yeah.
To
be fair, anything's possible at the minute.
I personally think you won't hear nothing until we're either i.e. at the FA Cup and the Champions League hasn't been achieved. I don't think you're going to hear anything up until them two objectives have been met or failed.
Yeah.
I think if we do lose on Sunday, and I'm not saying we are, but I think if we do go at the FA Cup on Sunday, I think the rumour mill will start going. I think
it depends on the manner of the defeat as well. If we lose, 1-0 in the last minute, blah blah blah, played well. I think if how many games have we had in the previous years gone by? Ralph Rangnick had it at Anfield when he got battered. Ollie had the bad results at Old Trafford with City and Liverpool. If we go and get absolutely battered on Sunday, I think, as Phil said, it's just going to spark the media merry-go-round even more.
What is it about the West Midlands, bro? Does it ever fucking is the sun ever fucking shining over that side, bro?
So realist, man. We're not in cuckoo land, mate. We're just realists.
You wouldn't know, kiddo. You wouldn't know. You're always asleep, mate. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, listen, beauty sleep, bro. No, here.
Them fucking grey eggs cooked.
Grey fucking eggs. Yeah, I want a refund, 20 quid. Give it back to me, yeah? Nice one. Here, listen, I think we've covered all bases today. It's been emotional. 3 weeks out, the mag are fucking back, baby. And I just want to, before we leave, Andy Mitten, you're a legend. We love you. We love what you've said today. You know what we're talking about. All the real Red fans know what you're talking about, and we back you to the hilt.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. And TUS, I'm getting the word.
Don't do it.
It's another violation.
Yeah, no, I didn't. What? Didn't say nothing. Here, listen. From the Mag 24/7 Reds, it's been lovely to get back. Maybe Philo will make it on time next time and not chime in the last.
I'm just gonna stay on. I'm just gonna stay on now for the next hour.
Yeah. If anyone wants to stay on, Philo's gonna talk to himself for the next half an hour. Yeah.
Philo's gonna do Q&A.
Listen, boys, I've missed you. Great to see you all. Philo, we'll see you again soon. And for all the listeners and viewers, good night and God bless. See you next Sunday for the next sesh. Out.